Hello. My name's Clayton.
And I'm Alex.
And I'm James Hetfield, and you're watching Loudwire. I'm Nick, and these are the things that we've seen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bro,
Oh man.
welcome, Nick.
Thank you guys for
Yeah.
having me.
I am so stoked that you're here.
I am so stoked that I'm here too. I fucking love this.
The best part
what
about
you guys
this is you just put out new music for the first time in 100 years.
We did, and it's very nice to have it out. We worked very hard on it, so
So I'm going to jump right into something spicy.
okay.
As I'm listening to this, because realistically, I've probably listened to it like 50 times.
Okay.
Because that's kind of the amount of time I've got. Every time I listen to it, I can just picture this tour in my head. Chime in if you want. But I see Toxic Messiah with In Flames, Trivium, and 3 Inches of Blood.
That would be sick.
That's like every time I listen to them, like, yep.
Yeah, no, I would love that. I would definitely. I don't know. All those bands are sick, especially Trivium. I think Trivium's probably my favorite of the three.
So the next question is, does your vocalist like In Flames?
I actually have no idea. We have never had that conversation. but
Find out, because
I'm sure that he would definitely appreciate In Flames if he doesn't like In Flames, that is.
yeah.
So for that EP, how long did it take you guys? You did everything on it, correct?
Yeah,
You did all the
we
producing,
recorded it
engineering
all
and stuff?
ourselves. We did go to a studio. I feel like a piece of shit, but I don't even remember the name of the studio. But they recorded drums for us, and I got to mix them and everything, but they just tracked drums.
Cool.
So we started tracking in March of last year, 2023.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been a long time. And we were kind of just refining everything. And once we finally got everything to a point where we were happy with it, it was about, I'd say, August, November. Then I really got to sit down and work on the mix for the most that I could. And I got it to where we were happy with it.
So obviously you put out Shell Shock first, and that was, I don't remember when that came out. That's been
That
a
was
while.
June of 2022. That
Okay.
that was like the first iteration of the band. That was, I mean, we didn't use live drums for that one, of course, but
Right, I figured as much, just going off of what you just talked about.
yeah, so that was kind of just like our first single, like, hey, we are a thing, like we are thrash, and we are
We
here.
are a band. and
Yes,
this
we
is
are a
happening.
band. And once we got Travis Scudder on the drums, we really kind of picked up from there. Kind of figured we put his spice on the songs, and
His own too.
right,
spice.
yeah. So it kind of came together like after that.
When did you guys like first kind of start Toxic Messiah? I assume it started with you.
It actually did not. I was asked
Really?
to join the band. It was 2020, so
Okay.
I was still in high school. I was a senior, and they're like, "Hey, so we're kind of thinking about starting a band, and you're coming to the University of Iowa. So I mean, if you want to join this band, like, we're looking for a lead guitarist." And I'm like, "Oh, sure. What kind of band is it?" And they're like, "Thrash." And I'm like, "Yes, I will join that band."
This is what you needed.
This is
to
what I
have done
needed,
forever.
dude. I've been wanting to play thrash since I was like 13, so I was like, I'm jumping on that opportunity for sure.
So 13, what's the first like influence for thrash? Like, what's the first thing you're hearing? Going, yep, this is what I have to do.
I mean, obviously, it's Master of Puppets.
Okay. I knew it was going to be Metallica.
Yeah,
I didn't know
no,
which
I-
Metallica.
I think like, because I've technically played guitar since I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, so I kind of just learned like the basics and stuff. And I just remember like, I've always listened to Metallica, so like it's to the point where like I don't even remember the first time I heard Metallica. So like, there was just one day I'm just sitting there and I'm like, how do people get this good at like writing music? I want to do this. So kind of like, I just remember being 13, like sitting down and learning all of Master of Puppets, and I was like, I have to do this. This is what I have to do.
Insanely impressive for a 13-year-old to.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like all the way there, but it was like everything. I could see what they were doing, and I
You
kind
had
of
the basics of
I
it.
had the basics, and I kind of learned like through them techniques and stuff like the down picking thing
Yeah,
and
nice.
that kind of thing. So I developed those over the years and kind of just have been practicing that ever since. But I would say Master of Puppets is probably like the one song that I was like, okay, I got to do this. This is sick.
Well, I'd probably go back, like, you know, me being a 13-year-old learning guitar, because I think I was playing it for 2 years before I started getting like decently good. But, you know, my 13 versus your 13, I was all into like new metal, and I was like, I want to learn how to play cornball. I only have a 6-string, and these guys are, you know, dropping it 2 steps down, and they're playing on 7 strings. Well, I don't have $800 to throw on a freaking 7-string.
Yeah.
So looking back, I kind of wish I had done the whole like, okay, I got to learn thrash first, because I feel like that kind of prepares you for everything.
Oh, it does.
So
Like, there's a lot of techniques in thrash, like, you know, like the tremolo picking and the down picking, and I don't know, just if you start with like a fast genre like that, like it kind of just builds up. You have to build up your technique, otherwise you're not going to be able to play it. So
right.
like that's kind of where I feel I got most of my, like, I guess, what do you call it, like arsenal of tricks, just kind of like through learning thrash songs.
Do you remember or still have your first guitar?
I do, yeah. It's an Ibanez. I don't know like the exact one, but it's just like an Ibanez 6-string.
Well, whatever the cat decides it is, working over the keyboard. That
right?
name.
Yep, that one.
I thought for sure you were gonna say it was the PRS. You had.
That's my second guitar.
Is it really?
Yeah,
dude, that guitar's nuts.
Dude, I love that guitar. It plays so nice. I played a lot of guitars, obviously, and that's like still my favorite. It just plays so smooth.
And it just sounds so good.
I know
on everything.
I don't know. I feel like I don't even have to try to get a good tone out of it because it just has a naturally good sound.
Are you the sole guitar player, or are you like double dutying?
Yep, there's two. We have a rhythm guitar player, Ryan Sackfield. He is a legend.
Nice. Shout out Ryan.
Yeah, shout out Ryan.
I'm not mistaken. Did he briefly play in Body Shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they did. They've been kind of doing like on and off stuff. Like they're just like a pop up thing. Like, oh, need a band? Body Shot.
Like, yeah, there's time. Like we can do it.
Yeah. So he's played a couple shows with Body Shot. He's also the guitarist of Crimson Clean Sweep. That's another band from down
That's
there.
right. Him and Cole both were in that, right?
Cole was also in that. I'm not sure what they're doing now. Like they've kind of gone a little hiatus. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah.
Nice. So talking about Metallica, like being kind of the band that really got you and everything, was it your dad that showed you that? Because I know your dad's a fan too, obviously.
Yeah, no,
so
absolutely.
you guys have been to a few shows.
It was like a mixture of my dad and my uncles and my cousin Jordan. They all kind of just exposed me to that when I was super young. So I've always been a Metallica fan, and
Nice.
I just remember being in like the back of my dad's car, just like 4 years old. Master.
Dude, that's so sick.
Yeah.
I was the one, different album, but you know, with Load, that was the one that my dad and mom showed me, and I'm in the back seat playing King Nothing, like on repeat to the point where they're like, "Can I listen to something new, please?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, just
Reload."
I just
Yeah,
go to,
sure. Yeah, dude.
I just go to Until It Sleeps, and I play that for like 30 times in a row.
Yep.
So yeah, because
How's the Jack built?
oh, dude,
Dude, 2x4?
Dude, ain't my bitch.
Ain't my bitch.
Ain't My
My-
Bitch,
Dude, that
is
song is so
bitch.
hard.
It was that blew my mind when I was a kid.
Perfect opening to the album.
Perfect.
It really is.
The riff is just so hard.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Well,
Incredible.
that's a half step down. And there's not a lot of like insanely heavy stuff. Like that I'd probably say that's probably my top 50 heaviest riffs.
Oh, 100%.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, Metallica's kind of the reason why we chose to play in E flat standard too, because they do that live.
Yeah.
They've played in E flat standard. Oh my god, since the '90s. So we're just kind of like E standard is like heavy and all, but like E flat standard. That's
Like,
the
that's where it's
golden.
at.
That's the golden
The
era
sweet
right
spot.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, no, that's so crazy because so for anyone listening that doesn't know, we should talk about it just for a little bit. You originally played in a deathcore band.
Yeah, Brainwash.
Was that your first?
That was my
band
first
in
band,
general?
yeah.
Okay.
That's insane. That's your
Yeah.
first.
I remember when we because you guys came shortly after Misadventures. I remember when we saw your guys' like profiles pop up, and we were like, "Who's this?" We're like, "There's a new band. Like this is crazy." Like
Yeah.
because we were still pretty fresh and everything. Like
Yeah,
we probably
absolutely.
only been playing for like I want to say maybe like a year or two before you guys came around. And yeah, we were just like, oh, like we got to figure out who these guys are because we're like, who the hell are these guys? And it kind of came out of nowhere for us. And then the first show
So
you guys played,
yeah.
I remember I was coming back from like Wisconsin Dells, and I was like, I gotta get there. Like I gotta be at. It was in Jude's basement, right?
It was in their basement. Yeah.
and which was nuts because we were just like, yeah, this is fucking hard. Like, now go play, go play at a venue.
Yeah, no, it was literally the day before we played the warehouse.
Yeah, it was like your test show kind of a thing. Because Misadventures did the same thing. I don't think we ever talked about it, but we did like a test show.
Yeah.
Kind of a
I've
thing,
never
just in
heard
like
of it.
Tristan's garage.
Oh, really?
And I don't remember, there was like maybe like 6 people that we asked to just come and be like, can you tell us if it's like really shitty or like good enough?
Good enough. Close enough for government work.
Yeah, because we were just like, okay, we're going to practice, but we're going to pretend it's a show. And I think that was beneficial to us, and I feel like you guys could probably like say the same thing.
Oh, it was
you felt more
absolutely
prepared.
beneficial. Just kind of like, because up to that point, we never like stood like everybody's facing the same direction.
Right,
We were
so
all
you
just
were-
like in a circle. So like have that and to have people like watching what you're doing, that was a really good like starter.
Prepare yourself
Yeah,
for like, okay,
absolutely.
now we're going to go play the show tomorrow.
And that show was
Yeah.
like kind of packed.
Yeah, I don't remember who all played it.
Rig Time was there. I can't even remember either anymore. It's been
It's been a while. That was
2017.
Yeah.
No, that was 2018. Pardon.
18.
2018.
Because so you guys, God, we did quite a few shows together.
We
really.
did, yeah.
Because we played Minneapolis with you guys on our tour.
Yep.
We did Eau Claire on that
Claire.
same run.
Yep.
Played lacrosse plenty of times
Oh,
together.
absolutely. Many times, yeah.
We did a lot together because we were like at that time period. It was really like Brainwash, Misadventures, Rig Time. Neck Run was coming out.
Yep. Just coming up.
Soulless Skin was
Mhm.
coming out at the same time.
Yep.
And then of course, everything kind of fizzled for everybody because no one really had a choice as the world was shutting down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I don't even think 2020 has. I'm not sure if everybody recovered from 2020.
I can say personally, I'm very thankful that that year happened. As bad of the situation was, I'm very thankful it happened because I don't think we'd be sitting here talking like this right now,
absolutely.
like doing this
Yeah.
podcast. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the family that I have and stuff. Like
Right.
if it weren't for that happening, I don't think I ever would have like slowed down and taken a look at what was going on. So it's pretty fortunate that it happened, as bad as it was. I feel like we all needed that to happen without realizing it until well after the fact. Like there's plenty of things we can all definitely say that
Yeah.
we did not recover from or
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure. I mean,
that were really difficult to get through. I mean,
It gave me kind of another like self-reflection kind of a moment where it's
Yeah.
like, obviously, American Zero, Delinquent Youth kind of fizzled out. And that's when, I don't know if it's a second, third, or fourth wave, but like everyone, like, all right, now the younger guys are coming in and taking over. And
Yeah.
you just listed off every single one of those bands. And it's like, my job I got at the time really, really took away from my ability to attend any of those shows.
Right.
And that fucking bummed me out so bad. So
we had like, this actually just came up in my memories and it really like bummed me out. But I wish it would have happened, but it was that Metal Fest show.
that also came up in my memories too, and I was like, dude, that would have been
we were gonna
such
play
a sick
such
show.
an insane weekend. Like
Yeah.
that lineup, unbelievable.
That would
Just
have
fucking crazy.
people would have lost their minds.
Yeah,
in 2020
because you guys
at
were
that.
playing like the day with like the Cambion and
And then all three of my bands at the time, Claim Defeat, Brainwash, and W, were all meant to play that. So
you were playing every day,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yep.
And because God, Maul was gonna play that show. That would have been the first time we would have
That
seen
would have
Maul.
been
Victims was
crazy.
gonna play.
Victims,
Failed to Decay.
Yeah, that's right. And God,
It's such a good show, man.
I think Fail to Decay was the Misadventures day. And that was the one time Misadventures with the final lineup would have gotten to have actually played at home for us. Because like we played Christian's hometown. But
Cincinnati,
no one,
right?
no one here got to ever see Misadventures with Christian, which is such a bummer because he was incredible and so
I've
fun
heard
to watch.
awesome stuff.
Dude, Christian was like just insane to like have on a stage with you because he was just so good at commanding.
Yeah.
Like he's very shy and like timid and stuff, but like you get him on stage and the dude's just like, all right, like you're
I know
he
what I'm
said,
doing.
you
Yeah.
are my bitch right now. Like, and yes, I wish that show could have happened because that was crazy because that was like peak for kind of all of us, really.
Yeah, no, that's like everything was
Brainwash
kind
had
of starting
put
to
stuff
take
out
off
and-
for a lot of us, and I know Claim Defeat was like just releasing music, and
Because that was like very beginning Claim Defeat because the first Claim show was day after Christmas that
it
year.
was,
So you guys were really just getting going and
and then everything just kind of got. I remember at first, they were like, we can probably still put the show on. Like, we can.
Yeah, it was like,
work
oh, it
around
might be able to happen.
And then it just didn't.
Yeah, because I think the last show I attended right before that happened was Head PE.
No way.
And it was more like I was volunteering to help the show run.
Right.
Because, like, I don't think I would willingly, like, pay to see Head PE. But, like,
Wait, where was this at?
in La Crosse here at the warehouse.
What?
Yeah.
How did I miss a Head PE show?
Dude, it was the last two shows that happened were Head PE and then the Sweat Boys.
This is why I'm pissed off at my last job, because like I literally like probably blacked out like all this like cool shit going on. And
Aaron Williams' old band played that show.
Really?
Or was he in that band?
Hold on.
Can't remember if he was.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Ethan Belmont.
Yep. I think I know exactly who you're
Drag
talking
Down.
about. Yes, Drag Down. We played with them.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know. They weren't
remember.
called Drag Down at the time. They were something else.
Maybe Aaron wasn't in that one. Aaron was in a band called Shaky Bones, and I feel like they played that show too. Then maybe that's why I'm thinking of that. We bring this up because we were just talking about Aaron before we started here. So
Aaron, if you're watching,
shout out Aaron. Shout out Thundergoat.
Legend.
A real hero in the Facebook comments. We won't go into that, but
we'll get there.
we'll get there when we talk to Aaron, probably.
Yeah. It's good.
It's good. It's all good things.
But like I was saying, that when my shit fizzled out and got kind of just, I just shut down. I got really depressed because, can I get back into the music scene? Does anyone even fucking remember me? Does this even matter? I'm so glad that the younger crowd is like, yeah, we're going to start some fucking bands. We're going to do this shit. So then right when I was like starting to build up my confidence and being like, I can do this, the entire world shuts down. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, now I got to, work on some other stuff. And then I went into overtime because it was a cleaning company. We're disinfecting everything. Everyone's getting like 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months off in a row. And I'm probably still technically in overtime because, I'm out till like 7 p.m. disinfecting shit.
You guys were disinfecting because of
COVID.
Yeah,
on top of disinfecting. We literally were.
Top of disinfecting.
We literally were. We had like banks contact us and say, "Hey, you need to come in and like clean this." I was just there 15 minutes ago. Can you do it again? Yeah, I guess. So
no, but I will.
So then around that time, my fiance gets me a computer that I can just make scratch tracks on, and I still have it, and I have slowly built up files and files of just like. I have them all listed like it's on a 6 string, it's in drop C, or this is in standard. And, I have them all like in a nice little row, like when I'm ready to release stuff. And I'm building my confidence. I leave my job and I get a better job with a better schedule. And then our venue disappears. So it's like right when I get like all this confidence to do some shit.
Third time's the charm.
Third time is the charm.
So that's kind of what this is. And
I will say this. For you, this has to be good.
Yeah, it is. It is because this idea has been sitting in my head since 2019. And, in the first episode, I mentioned it to Alex.
And I was taking a shit.
Yeah. I will never forget that phone call. It was the funniest thing because I literally texted him on my way from work because I think it was an Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary on Netflix I'm watching. And he's like, everyone knows him as this like awesome actor and bodybuilder. And I think he admits in there, like, I can't do this by myself. I need help. It's like, this dude needs help? Are you serious? Like, this guy's like an icon.
Terminator needs help.
Help.
Yeah, I need help.
I may look like a buff man, but my fucking feelings are not buff.
I'm coming from God. He took Kyle Weathers. You bastard.
I just want Sarah Connor's affection.
But, I'm like, this dude needs help, so I can't do this alone. I've been wanting to do this since 2019. So, the original name for this, we talked about this recently. I don't know. Should we do it on air? Or
nah, we can say it off.
We'll do it.
We gotta
off
save
air.
it.
We'll do it off air. But
I don't want to put in too many shotguns.
Exactly. So, but the original name is really. We'll get into that at some point. But I was like, I need help. I just texted Alex. I was like, dude, call me right now. And here we are.
Yeah, this is just gotten home and now we're here.
This is episode 8?
This is 7.
This is 7. Yeah. So this is literally 7. It's like we've already sat down with some awesome people. Like we went to the Day After Christmas show.
And unfortunately, a lot of that stuff from the Day After Christmas show isn't able to make it out.
Yeah.
Because my memory cards, apparently, one of them wasn't formatted for the GoPro, which was whatever, because we had 2 cameras going anyway. It didn't matter. But the memory card in the recorder, it was all good, formatted and everything, used it. When I went to put it in my computer and pull off the files and start putting stuff together, corrupted. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess we just won't do this. And I didn't know that until after we already had to like push back a week of episodes dropping. So to anybody that was supposed to have one of those, I'm really sorry. We will make it up.
We'll do a scene fest or something.
Yeah,
Scene
we'll
fest,
do
I like it.
Yeah.
We've talked about some ideas, so there's a possibility of something happening.
We'll get everyone in a room together at some point again, and redo it. And that's the whole point of this is it's going to grow. It's going to be, your first guitar practice is not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Your first podcast is not going to be perfect.
You guys are going to have like 30 people on there at one time eventually. Just have like a
The
whole room
goal
full
is
of
to put
30
one
people.
mic in the middle, and then everyone has to walk up to it and say their thing, and then get the hell away from it. We're going to make it really awful for everyone.
One man, one mic.
30 man, one mic. We're but
Two girls, one mic.
two shitties, one mic.
Hell yeah.
That episode.
Two shitties, two mics. We got to let them both talk.
Yeah.
But
But the point is like just getting back into the world of music because it's fucking important to me, it's good to have a job to, keep you afloat financially, but this stuff, keeps my mind active
absolutely.
and running and
sane.
I could give two shits if it makes me $1 or if it makes me $1 million. I got to play music.
That's how I feel too. I mean, as a full-time student at a university who has a job as well and then has a pan that is 4 hours away, I just need I need to go home and I just need to sit at my computer. I need to record and mix something.
Yeah.
Like that's my outlet. So
Yeah.
like if I ever have a bad day, I'm just like, okay, I need to get the guitar out. I need to just
do something.
do something.
Yeah.
It's so I feel you.
So you're a university student. Do you drive to school?
I do.
How often?
Every day.
Every day. And that's a 4-hour commute?
No, he doesn't.
No.
go to Iowa anymore.
I'm sorry. I left the University of Iowa.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, this is probably new information to people, but because I kind of don't tell people things.
That's fair.
But
You're very secretive.
I'm
I was too
I'm
for
a
a
little
while.
reserved. But yeah, I left the University of Iowa in 2022, and I've been at UWL ever since.
Nice.
So
Okay.
majoring in psychology, figure out what the fuck is wrong with me.
I'm
not
gonna learn
working.
how to fix my brain,
Yeah,
there's
learn how
a
to
lot
and
fix
then
it.
fix everyone else's brain.
Fix it from the source. That's the only way, baby.
There's a lot of musicians that could probably take example.
Yeah.
And that's a common thing in musicians is like, and that going back to what I was saying, you need to have something to occupy your brain. And I mean, if whether someone hears it or if it's just something that I hear, I'm gonna throw on, my Fender that's a standard tuning, and I'm gonna play Joe Satriani like lead shit with like delay and reverb, and that shit calms me the fuck down.
Absolutely.
So
You grab your guitar and you throw on some effects and you just kind of
just let
close
go.
your eyes and let it rip, man.
yeah.
That's therapeutic.
And then when I'm in a good mood, I'll write some Kill Switch Engage. So
So, just to kind of like finish up with Brainwash then. So, if I remember it, the last Brainwash show was that when we're doing those just like live stream shows.
We
Was that
played one more
technically-
after that.
Okay.
We played
Because I was at the last one then. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking of. It
Yeah.
wasn't the live stream one.
yeah.
Because after that was right before you went off to Iowa, correct?
Right.
Right.
And then things just kind of died out, I guess.
yeah,
And
I mean,
then-
everyone was going in a different direction and wanted to do different stuff. Like it happens. I mean,
it seems to be a common ground with a lot of bands.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fine. And that's
It's a
there's nothing
good
wrong with it.
natural
Just-
way
like
for
there's
it to die.
no hard feelings
Yeah.
towards anyone at all. It's just
Yeah, everyone
everyone
was just
kind
busy
of
doing other stuff.
yeah.
I mean, that's what happened.
That's the best case scenario you could ask for.
yeah.
Absolutely. I still love all those guys. And
Awesome.
kind of doing their own thing. So
So
Yeah.
during Brainwash then and kind of up to Toxic Messiah stuff, you were in Claim Defeat for a little while.
Yep.
And the most important band, W.
absolutely, yeah.
So for anyone that doesn't
about
know about W,
Shit, I forgot.
W
That's
is the hardest
best.
thing. It was
W,
so fun.
It takes your love for wrestling and your love for hardcore and you mash them together.
And you
was
just have a
so
swell time.
It was so fun. I think W was among some of the most fun I had playing live shows.
And it
Just-
was so obvious too because it was so like carefree.
Yeah,
Because it didn't
no.
matter.
like it was one of those bands where like if there was ever a show like a band drop, like can you like ask someone to play? It's like ask W, they'll have fun. Just get.
It's like asking Trite to play a show.
It is. It's literally Trite.
Dude, Trite, but way more real.
Dude, I saw Trite once and I was blown away. It was just so good, so good.
The 2 shows that Trite has ever played.
Oh, you only played 2?
Oh, yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, Trite only ever did 2 shows. Those guys are crazy.
I'm looking up Trite right now.
One of their members
see what-
pissed under my van. Party City.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You were there, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. It was Halloween, wasn't it? Or it was like right before a Halloween show.
I don't
Because you guys were all going to be cops.
the sex cops.
The sex cops. You're going to be sex cops.
Sex cops LA.
And Sweat Boys made sex jail.
Yes.
You were taking everyone to sex jail.
Yeah, that's correct.
And one of you sex cops pissed under my van. I won't say his name, but I love him, and I hope he's doing swell. And I hope that one day he pisses under my van again.
He may or may not also be at UWL, so
All right, well,
yeah.
he can piss under my van anytime.
he can
So,
piss at UWL.
He can
if
piss
he-
at
if he would like.
UWL, drink his piss again.
So he's going to be the new chancellor.
Yes.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to be that fucked up, but
He's not going to be Joe Gao.
Yeah, no.
like,
Man,
you know.
the best part about that, I let my curiosity get the best.
trust me, we all did.
You should have been here when we were talking to Mason.
When
Mason-
Mason was here, do you know who Rootinest is?
No,
Oh my
God.
god. Okay, you go first, but we'll touch base on a second.
the best part about that is like they first cook a meal.
Yep.
Like that's the best part about the video.
Got to eat and then you got to burn it off.
I guess, yeah. It's so funny.
But you're not just cooking a meal. You're cooking a meal with a very, very known adult actor.
right. Yeah. And then you put your suit and tie on and
Are you
go to school
hungry?
the next day.
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? Yeah.
All right,
The worst.
I'm curious what Ridian is now.
So we
Ridian is funny.
he's a legendary kind of one of those guys. He also is really big into WWE, WWF. He's like my age, so I commonly forget that it's changed to WWE. It's always WWF in my head for whatever reason. Really big into like fighter and that kind of stuff. So he hangs out with the Scrub Series guys. That was the thing. He deep dove. Deep dove? Is that a word? Yeah.
Deep dove. Yeah.
He deep dove into some of these videos too, and found one where homeboy finishes as you do, wherever it is that you want to finish on, and he looks up at his wife and he goes, "Are you hungry?" And she goes, "Yeah." Goes and does the little slurpy slurp action and feeds it to her. And I'm like,
And himself.
what a legend.
That's
The most American thing you could ever do.
absolutely. That's who you
And
want.
this man is responsible for an entire universe.
I was gonna say that's who you want running your university. Let me tell you.
What a fella.
Sex University. So we got
Running
sex
UW
cops,
sex-
jail. Now we got Sex University.
Sex University. Yeah, I graduated from Sex University.
I'm surprised.
From Sex University.
So I just looked
Bless.
up the definition of trite, by the way, while we were doing that.
Yeah, I forgot that it is a real word.
Of
Is
a
it?
remark, opinion, or idea. Overused and consequently of little import, lacking originality or freshness.
I'm telling you right now, it is very original.
Oh, it's very
No,
original.
it's very
Except for
original.
the one time they covered rig time.
Terrible.
It was
also
that garbage. That cover was garbage. Okay?
Also the name.
The cover was garbage.
yeah, the garbage cover was garbage.
The name is fantastic though too. Just combining, traders.
And spite.
Traders
yeah.
and spite, because
Yeah.
we were being menaces. Won't name drop anybody, but we were being menaces, and then it happened, and now there's like 4 trite releases and 2 shows, and the second show we all spent way too much money on things to wear, and we have to have Jude on just to talk about the garbage bag he wore.
Oh no.
Wait, did I see the first or the second show?
I feel like it was the second show.
I think it also was the second show.
I want to say it was definitely the second show. The second show was by far more insane than the first one because it was just so ridiculous. Because I think it was like the night before we all went to Party City and just bought a bunch of shit. Like, I remember.
Yeah, that's why we were at Party City.
Yep, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, okay,
This was
I
so
don't know
long
how I
ago.
didn't connect those fucking
This
dots.
was so
but
long
yeah.
ago. But yeah, no. See, W's the better thing.
W. Oh God.
But and then Claim Defeat was for a little bit. I don't remember how long that was. We don't have to go over a bunch of it if you don't want to.
I don't really know, honestly. They kind of did stuff after Aiden and I left, so I'm not sure when they officially ended or if they're still going. I don't know.
Yeah,
but.
I figured just kind of off what you were there for, because you and Aiden wrote that first only EP.
We did. And also I wrote the second one, the single.
Oh yeah. And
Hard.
I really had to think. I was like, I forgot. Because it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has
It's
definitely
been a while.
It's been a while.
Homeboy's coming to the rave.
He is. Gotta go, man.
Dude, we're all gonna go and we're just gonna sit
Am I
there
the only one?
and we're just gonna keep singing those at him, but in between songs.
They,
we're gonna make him hate us.
So I actually I made a Fortnite cover of Am I the Only One by Aaron Lewis, and it's just talking about how they should bring back all like the OG spots back.
and then Fortnite OG happened.
It seriously did, and I was like, oh
It's
my
because they heard your song.
I did that, dude.
You brought
They heard
back
me.
OG
Yeah.
Fortnite,
They heard me.
which I remember we were all sitting down here, and this was when Fortnite was on iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing on my really shitty computer. One of you guys was playing on, I think, my PS4,
I think I was playing on the PS4.
and then somebody else was playing on their phone, and it was just the worst.
It was just so-
because the
so
computer
bad.
like barely worked. But it was just so funny because like I look back on things like that, and I'm just like, man, that's wild that we did that.
Those were the days, man. We just
Or like when you guys showed up here on my birthday and you just had a random child's shoe.
Yep.
You picked up at the park a few blocks from here. Because
do
I remember
remember
you guys
that.
were like, we got you a gift. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah,
and
thanks,
it's just
man.
this fucking shoe.
Yeah, it's just a shoe.
It was so funny. Oh, man.
a lot of good memories back then, for
Dude,
sure.
we have
Do you remember
all
when we
done
were
some
at the
interesting
Mall of
things.
America and Jude picked up the phone and called and he was just like, "Do you guys have Cinnabon?" And he
Dude,
just like,
yeah. I forgot about that.
dude, that was so funny.
Didn't
I laughed so
somebody
hard.
yell at
Yeah.
Jude or something too for like something on the escalators?
Yes, I don't remember what it was for.
Yeah, and it was just like random people too. They were just like, "Stop doing that." I think he was just like playing on the escalators or something. I wonder if Jude remembers. We'll have to
Oh,
find.
I
out.
hope he does.
I hope he
man.
does because I don't remember it. But this is semi off topic, but I think you'll enjoy this. I recently remembered a video that happened in Jude's basement of Jude and Felix and Tristan all in a closet down there, almost naked. They were all just wearing their underwear and they were sitting there, and we opened the door with the flash on the camera, and they're all just sitting there screaming, looking terrified, and then you just back away. And I can't remember if you were there or not, but like anytime I think of stuff like that, I'm like, wow, we were all on some shit.
No, dude, we were.
all did
sounds-
some crazy stuff.
That sounds like a Meat Canyon animation for
Dude,
whatever reason.
If it was, I don't know if the Meat Canyon could make it more terrifying than it is just
couldn't
in real
do it
life. 'Cause
justice.
it
It
was
really couldn't.
deranged. But I remembered this the other day, and I was just like, oh my God, I have to find this video. I think I was talking to somebody at work, and I was like, you got to see this. And they were like, what is wrong with you? I was like, well, you see, I don't know.
We don't know. We just
don't
kind
really
of
know.
do things.
But that's why our friend's going to UWL with Joe Gao and
Yeah.
learning how to fix it.
come to my office one time.
office, young man.
I've seen this couch before. I want to go back to W for a second.
Okay.
So the tie-in between rock, metal to wrestling is actually insanely common.
It is.
So
Very direct bridge.
in another universe, it could actually still be this universe because, I mean, you're young, you've got time. You are a wrestler. It doesn't matter what company you're wrestling for. It could be AEW, WWE. What is your walkout theme song?
My walkout theme song.
Whether it already exists or,
Or if you made your own.
yeah.
I could probably make my own. Otherwise, that's kind of a hard question. Because how have I
did
never
this
thought
with,
of this?
we did this with Tristan.
Yeah.
We talked about this with Tristan. I said Mambo number 5.
I
for
do remember
myself.
that. Yeah, I watched that
I
episode.
I had 2 answers.
I did because I always envisioned myself as like kind of like a Mick Foley kind of person. I got too many ideas for just one person, so I did. My jokey answer would be like Billie Eilish, like Doink the Clown,
bad guy. Yeah,
my Doink the Clown
I said that
personality.
Klay's should have been Beastman.
Yeah, which influenced me in my other one, which would be the Acacia Strains, just Beast.
Yes, that's right.
But then I feel like there's another side of me. It's like middle ground. I'd be someone like Gold Dust, and it would just be an original like
kind of who?
Yeah, kind of like I don't know.
I think I would do something original like "This Fire Burns" by Killswitch Engage.
There
That
you
would be a
go.
pretty.
That would be very.
That would be
original.
very. I don't know why no one's done that before. That's
I don't know why they got rid of that.
Killswitch Engage, but just David Draymond on vocals.
maybe I could have Motorhead too. Like if they wrote a song called "The Game," I think that.
Yeah, I could use that.
Who's not? Why hasn't someone done that yet?
I don't know why no one's used that
don't know.
because that's perfect.
That
Because
is,
like
the
if
best.
also like looking at this watch, I'm kind of thinking like maybe my time is now. So like maybe I could write a song that is like a rap, and I could actually write an album that does go platinum.
Hell, you could have a documentary.
So you just sparked something in me. My favorite WWE theme song, or yeah, it could have been classified as WWE, but Booker T's,
Oh, yeah.
just the best.
One of my favorites, underrated as hell, The Sandman from ECW.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever heard
Yeah.
that theme song, but oh my god, that is. I don't know. That song gets me going, man.
Every time I think of ECW, I don't know why I think of Sting because I know he's more like WCW.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but like I always get that vision of Sting where he's like he comes in the ring, he's wearing the Sting mask.
He takes the mask off, yeah.
This still
It's classic, dude.
That's one
classic.
of the funniest but like hardest moments in wrestling.
He's done that multiple times
Yeah.
too. Like he's been in the audience and he's done that too. And
It's so funny because you're just like, oh, okay.
oh, it's Sting! Oh my god!
Like,
So funny.
My
dude.
other favorite wrestling moment is Ric Flair's just absolute like manic like shouts and everything, especially where he like gets in someone's face and goes, "I am Ric Flair, the president of the United States." It's like, all right, I believe him actually.
Oh, hey, that man has conviction with whatever he says. I would believe him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If he ran, I'm voting for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
he may be a bad man, but like whatever.
Less alcohol issues than any of the other presidents.
Which is surprising.
There's no rules anymore.
Opioids don't matter.
I don't know. I mean, he wrestled a match in 2023, I think.
Yeah,
So
and now he's
he-
a manager on AEW.
Yeah, he is.
Which
so he's
everyone
got
thought
it
he
in
was
him
coming
still,
back
dude.
to actually wrestle.
He could kick ass.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know?
he could. Not very well, but not anymore at least.
Yeah,
But
but-
So-
back then.
We covered walking or walkout theme songs for wrestling. I'm assuming there hasn't been a Toxic Messiah show yet. Has there?
multiple actually.
There's been a few. Okay, well, let's see. I'm still asleep.
Yeah, no, they're. I mean, they have all been in Iowa except for
That
the one
makes
that's
a
been
little bit
around
more
here.
sense.
So
I would say there was only one here.
there's only one here. Yeah.
Has there been any thoughts or talk? Maybe this has already happened, but Cowboy Up opening the shows.
That could be cool.
That would be like, because you know how Metallica does.
Ecstasy of Gold.
Yeah, Ecstasy of Gold. My immediate first thought was Cowboy Up could easily open up a Toxic Messiah. Yeah.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Make it happen.
I was just
Do it.
sitting down.
Copyright claim.
I was sitting down one day and I had my cowboy hat on and I was like, I think I could write like a country western song.
Yeah.
And just like I found this sample of this dude on YouTube just talking about being a cowboy and I was like, I'm using that.
That I listened to that and I'm like, this actually goes really hard.
Dude, that just unlocked something deep inside the old noggin here. So when we played, it was the last day of the Last Misadventures tour. We played XComp. And when we got there, there was this country singer playing. This dude, I can't remember his name. This guy was nuts. Like, I can't even go into great detail about how insane
he was
this
just
guy
nuts.
But he had a song specifically about how much he loved his Wrangler jeans. And it was insane. But this dude, it was like 11 a.m. and he was just shit-faced already. And like,
True cowboy is.
Yeah.
oh my God, this guy was nuts. I wish I could remember his name. Maybe if I ask Christian or I find the XComp flyer. But
Is it Robert Downey Jr.?
yes.
Robert Howdy Jr.
Robert Howdy Jr.
No, the whole day though, he was just like plastered and it was just insane. But I just think about the song about him talking about how much he loved his Wrangler jeans. I just go, that guy loves Wrangler jeans. That's country.
That guy is Robert Howdy Jr.
Robert Howdy Jr.
And he is Iron Man because he has a big iron on his hip.
Oh,
that's the way it goes.
Spurs are made of iron.
Yep, absolutely.
But God, incredible. So after, of course, all those things, Toxic Messiah was already like kind of happening, but no one knew.
Yeah.
And then, well, now here we are. You guys finally put out an EP.
Yeah.
Which also, who did the artwork for that? Because it's fucking sick.
Okay, so funny story about that. It was just this random guy on Instagram. He's from Malaysia. He just reached out and he's like,
whoa.
Yeah, dude. He's like, hey man, you want me to do artwork for your stuff? And we're like, yeah, because like your work is insane.
We've had a lot of those, like just accounts just be like, yo, can I make you this? And I'm like, all right. Like I'm not gonna say no. Like,
he's very good at what he does.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Because when I first saw that, I went, that's hard. I was like, that is hard.
Because like originally it was like I think he had like a blue on there, and I'm like, no, dude, you got to make it green. Mm-hmm. Like. That nothing says thrash.
Green.
Yeah,
and
something
thrash.
about green and thrash that just mixes
Green,
well together.
Thrash, the tie-in with the word toxic. When I think of something toxic, it's green.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Or yellow.
The Jedi.
Or yellow.
Like a really bright yellow.
We are Jedi. Jedi Messiah.
Is there a cat down here?
I it was probably my laugh.
Oh, I swear to God, I heard the cat down here.
I'm not like when I get.
Did he open the door?
It's possible.
When I get really, really laughy, I get kind of
You start meowing.
high pitched in my.
Oh, okay, that is what I heard. I totally thought it was the cat, and I was like, "How the hell did he open the door?"
Could be part cat.
All right, cute.
It's possible. Anything is possible.
It's possible.
There you go.
Oh no!
My inner dad coming out.
Yeah, brother.
Meow.
But yeah. So that dude did the artwork, and we were very happy with it.
Yeah, dude, it's so sick. Like the second I saw it, I was just like, "That's crazy. That needs to like."
I'm not gonna lie. Next time you guys have shows, make posters. I'll show up and I'll buy a poster.
That I would have to have some kind of a poster, like just because that artwork's so sick, and the Toxic Messiah logo in it is just so hard too. It's incredible.
Yeah. That guy, Pit Forge on Instagram. I don't know his actual name.
I think he hit up Misadventures.
It's possible. He's a very hardworking guy.
We were gonna have him do something, but we had already had artwork for the release that we were on.
Yeah, he's a hardworking guy.
Yeah, insane. Because that's so sick. So what do you guys have planned for this year? Do you have anything planned right now?
We don't have anything planned right now. We're hoping to play some shows. We definitely want to get writing more music. I just have to find time in my schedule to drive up there.
Of course, and be able to dive into the next thing.
That's the hardest part of it all. Yeah, it's tough for me just for how busy I am. It's tough for me to find, because if I go up there, I can't really just drive up there, stay there for like 2 hours and drive back, because that's like a 10-hour endeavor.
Are you the one that lives the furthest away?
Yes, everyone else lives within like 10 minutes of each other.
Shit.
So yeah, when I was at Iowa, I was only like an hour away, so it wasn't bad. I could drive up and back, but living here, it's just not super plausible.
Super feasible,
yeah, no.
I remember when you were going to school in Iowa, because that was when I was stranded there briefly, and you had classes, so I was like, I guess I'll just die.
I remember that, yeah,
because I was like, literally like blocks away from me right now.
Dude, I
bet he's
forgot
in
about
class. And then I made Austin come hang out instead.
Dude, Austin is a legend.
Austin Korth.
Yes. Austin Korth is a legend, everybody. You heard it here first.
Austin Korth fell out of the shower upstairs in this house. And it was one of the funniest things that has ever happened here. Austin, I'm putting you on blast right now. So this was like 2 years ago, I think, maybe. I don't know. Spread Thin did a little run. And Austin was playing bass for us. We all came here after playing super late at Zach Gaida's apartment.
Zach Gaida, legend.
Another shout out, Zach. I love you, and I hope you got home safe last night.
Was he?
Yeah, he was over at my place last night actually.
Dude.
So I got to hang out with that little sweetie and feed him some pizza.
Hell yeah. He deserves all the pizza in the world.
He deserves everything.
We need to sit down and have a movie night with that guy.
Dude, movie night with Gaida would be incredible.
He's got a top 100 list that I got to pick his brain on.
Oh,
so.
you have to.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
we were all here after we played there. Zach was here as well because we were playing in town this following day. Then we're all sitting in the living room and like we're talking with my dad and stuff, just hanging out. And all of a sudden we hear this loud bang from the bathroom, and I'm like, "What the hell is that? Did he just like drop the bottle of soap in there or what?" And he comes out of the bathroom and he's like, "Dude, your shower sucks." He's like, "Out of your fucking shower."
He blames the shower.
He gets out of there, and the second he tells us that, I just die laughing.
Oh, dude,
I was crying.
Oh my
like I couldn't
God.
breathe. I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Dude, we all thought it was a bottle of soap that fell, but it was you that fell out
him.
of the shower." The bathroom is not very large. Okay, I'm amazed he didn't like smack his head on the corner of the counter for the sink and like bust his head open.
It's a tall man.
He's a tall man, and dude, it's just so funny that happened.
No,
'cause,
that's,
like,
that's hilarious.
Oh.
I've never heard that before. That's funny.
it's one of the funniest things that I've ever experienced with him. Besides the fact that the night before, when we were at Zach's apartment, because we got to Zach's apartment like really, really early that morning, the day of the show, and the show wasn't until like super late at night, so we were all just chilling, and we were like, we need to sleep and not in my van because it's cold and the van didn't have heat. I just remember we were all in this room at the apartment, and all of us are like trying to get comfy, and we just like couldn't stop making each other laugh, kind of a thing. And I just remember like looking, I just see him laying there, and he's like out like a fucking light. And then like a little bit later, Zach's roommate gets back and like opens the door that I didn't know was there or that could open. And my head was next to it. I just wake up to me getting a fucking door to my head. Like, it was an insane morning. But yeah, shout out Austin.
Shout out Austin.
Shout out Austin for slipping out of my parents' shower
That's
and
kind
being
of
one
impressive.
of the funniest stories ever. But yeah, so you guys put that out. Hopefully shows and stuff coming up. Hopefully start writing some more stuff soon. Do they ever come this way for you, kind of a thing, or is it more?
No,
Is it easier for you to just go to them?
No, the fuckers suck.
You're all dumb.
I just drive up there. It kind of sucked for all of them if they have to drive all the way up here. So
We had to, when we were having Austin like for us and stuff, we would always have to drive to him because he had a practice space, so it was easier.
Yep.
But every time, dude, Ben and Tristan, I would just, the ride home was always something else.
Oh
That
my
was when I was
God.
really into skinwalkers for a while. And I just remember we would like leave Austin's, start driving home, and it'd get real dark, and I'm just like, oh, there's probably a skinwalker out here. And then we would just get super into skinwalkers, and I just wouldn't shut up about them the whole ride home. And I blame Austin for that and all the mannequins in his practice space.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate
Mannequins
his
are
last
terrifying.
name because I know they can't. He's not related to Dustin.
He's
Korth.
not related to
I was gonna
Dustin.
say
Not at
because
all.
everyone with the last name Korth is just related in my head. So
Yeah.
they're actually
not
all
a
just
lot-
Dustin.
There's
It's
not a
another
lot of-
legend, Dustin Korth.
There's
We've
not a lot
got
of
two
Korth
Bustin
out there.
Korths. We got Austin Bustin Korth and Dustin Bustin Korth.
Both legends.
Both legends, both incredible.
Both are absolute legends.
Oh man. So now, obviously, you're just kind of doing your thing,
I
getting
am.
through school and stuff.
Working at Rogan Shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you were at Forever 21 for a little while.
Yep.
Is that the
So
one in
you're at
town?
Rogan's.
That's the one in
Over by
kind of by like
Festival.
Festival Foods.
Okay,
and,
I'll
yeah.
probably see you in a month then. Because
Next to
Plan.
the best Mexican restaurant in the area, Betty's Tacos.
Betty's Tacos rules, dude.
Dude.
I go there all the time.
Betty's Tacos. Oh my god, incredible! I would go with my now former boss and our buddy Al. We would go like every Sunday,
Dude, it's good.
and we would all get way too much.
Dude, I got a large burrito there yesterday. I didn't know that large meant like
large.
Yeah.
dude. Oh my god.
Dude,
Stay
have you
Puft
had
Marshmallow
their
Man.
birria?
I haven't had it.
Oh my god, go right now. Leave.
It's been fun, guys.
Clay, you wish you could eat this.
We'll keep running.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll
So,
keep going.
yep.
It was, dude, shout out Betty's.
If you have a wireless mic, I could just drive there
We'll,
right
yeah,
now.
we'll just live stream your
Yeah.
interview.
You know what?
as you're-
you know what, we're all gonna go and
driving.
Clay just won't eat, and I'll have a
You
great
could ask me a question. I could stare at the camera like for like 3 seconds before answering. It's so good.
So are you doing anything else for any other projects, or is it just kind of?
That's about it. I
Goof
do a
around.
lot more solo stuff now. Like I do
Because I see you put up covers all the time.
Yep,
and stuff,
I do a lot of
and
covers, and I have a solo hair metal project I'm working on.
That's right.
Your vocal work is. I remember sitting down one day. I can't remember which one you uploaded, but I was like, "Homie can sing! Holy shit! This is awesome!"
Thank you, dude. Thank
So-
you.
Anybody that hasn't heard Nick's covers, you will after this episode. You're legally required to go listen.
If you would like to, no pressure.
Legally.
I am putting pressure.
Pressuring really hard right now.
So there was a post you made about you did an upload for, was it The Voice or
Voice,
something?
yep.
Yeah. So any news on that yet, or
No. The first one I uploaded, they said that they didn't want any like effects on it. Like I didn't
right.
know why it would matter, but
Yeah,
but then I was like, okay, that's fine. So I just write from my SM7B into the DAW, and then I just use my GoPro to record it. And I was like, okay, I might as well just post it on Facebook too to update people, because I actually had a couple people like reach out and ask like, hey, what's up with that? So I was like, I don't know how many people actually care about my stuff, but I guess I can just throw it out there, and for those who are paying attention.
the Facebook algorithm's awful, but I
Dude.
always see your covers and stuff come up. So
that's like that's the other part to my little shitty masterclass videos is like it's a 1000% a fuck you to the algorithm, because it's like you're gonna see this every day whether you like it or not.
No,
So,
absolutely. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love every single one.
I was like, it's just such a dumb joke, but it's so funny though at the same time.
that series is actually what taught Nick how to play guitar.
That's
Dude, so
Time traveled and then
I did, yeah.
figured it
So
out.
Ben Demel commented on one of them and says, "I can't wait for like the higher strings so
I saw
can
that.
yeah, so it can make it through the fire and flames." But the best part is it's all gonna be down through the fire and flames.
James Hetfield enters the chat.
James Hetfield joins Dragon Force, replaces Herman Lee, so
Yeah.
Herman Lee can just be in Family Guy full time.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Yeah.
So-
I was going to comment on one of those and be like, could you go over that one more time?
One more time. No, absolutely. No, I'm trying to think of how more creative I can get with it, but at some point I am gonna actually upload like serious shit too. So
That's not serious.
You're telling me you're
Serious.
fucking with them?
It's pretty serious.
Okay.
I say that seems pretty serious to me.
I want to actually put it into a DAW and see if I can line up everything to make a chord. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you should be able to realistically.
How to make a G chord. Bag each note.
I just did the entire Make Yourself Incubus album, with, which would be an absolute fucking nightmare. So
That would be so good.
So I think it's finally time.
yes,
It's time.
As everyone knows,
the spiciest of spicy.
Nick loves Metallica.
I do.
Clay and I love
ever since I had
Metallica.
this birthmark as a child.
Birthmark.
Yeah.
That is a really slick birthmark.
Yeah.
So
Your parents did wonderful work. on
I
the
will
birthmark.
go on record saying that as much as me and Alex love and appreciate Metallica, me being someone that was born literally a year after Metallica was formed, I kind of grew up right alongside the band. However, that being said, if I were ever on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I wouldn't rely on myself for the, call a friend for this question. If it was a Metallica question, I'm calling you.
100%.
If there's one person on this planet that doesn't know Metallica better than the band themselves,
I'm hoping that's the case.
it is the case.
If I ever have Metallica trivia, dude, I think I'd do pretty
think-
decent.
I think we just found episode 2.
We just found
the
episode
Nick
2.
Return episode.
So
On June 22nd, 1987, James Hetfield took a shit. What color was it?
what color was it? Let's see.
What photo of Madonna did Lars beat off to in the making of the
Who
Black
found
Album?
James Hetfield saying, that'll be fine?
Wow. That's probably an actual thing.
It's okay. So I don't remember like the exact story, but they were playing somewhere with Guns N' Roses, and Slash like walked in on James Hetfield like doing some chick, and he was like, that'll be fine. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
either.
no, that's
I did a revisit to Some Kind of Monster because it was a free Misha Mansour Ask Me Anything, and someone asked him, what got you into the wanting to be in a band? He goes, dude, 1000% Some Kind of Monster. I watched that documentary and said, I have to be in a band. So I had already seen it, but what's funny about that answer that Misha gave was I rewatched that documentary kind of like through Misha's eyes, and I'm like, yeah, I could see wanting to get into a band because of this shit, even though it was like there's a lot of crazy stuff that went on, So
Dude, I want to join a band and call my front man a dick.
Yeah.
that's exactly what I want to do.
And that's why I tell Ben Demel every day that I hate him. No, I'm kidding.
That's how Metallica got successful.
So going back
we're
to
gonna-
Insane Anger.
going
We're
back
going
to
to do a
what we were,
lovely little tier list here.
yeah,
Little tier list.
Because for anybody that's seen the last 6 episodes, we usually do a guess a lyric kind of a thing. Like, is this real? Is this something that Klay made up, or was this Chat GPT? You would guess all of it, no problem, and
So we
that
gotta
would
get
ruin
creative,
it because
and
you know too much.
No, quite a bit. Yeah,
yeah.
So we had to. I found this tier list. It's not comprehensive by any means.
that's fine.
Because there are a fair amount of things missing from it, but we can just talk about them separately because it looks like 72 Seasons isn't on here, which is the newest one. So
That's a bummer.
I want to know where you would rank that, but we're gonna get to that after these ones.
I know their ranking, by the way.
And
I do know where I
You do know.
Yeah.
and the important question, the Ja Rule Metallica collab.
That would be number one.
That's number one.
It's got to be number one.
straight up an S, top of S.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the only S tier. Everything else is D tier. That's where Metallica really peaked.
And we can get into the other stuff that isn't even on here too, because there are questions. You made a post about No Leaf Clover, I think it was.
I did, yeah.
And it triggered something in my head going, yeah, that is a very underrated song. It's fantastic. But we can get into that later. But we'll talk about the off stuff.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna start, just because the way I'm looking at it, Reload.
Reload is a great album. For me, Load and Reload I kind of almost consider them as like the same.
Yeah,
Like, because
I mean, same session.
it's
so-
kind of like the same thing. Load and Reload are underrated as fuck.
Yes.
extremely.
Their
1000%.
riffs are insane. James Hetfield's vocals are insane.
Honestly, some of the best songwriting.
Yeah.
And the mix is just
Incredible. It's massive.
Because Load obviously came out first, and then there was like a couple things between that, wasn't it? Like Garage Inc. and
Garage
then like
Inc., yep.
S&M, and then Reload came out. So they probably had time to actually.
Reload was actually before S&M too.
It was,
Or
okay.
S&M,
There was only
sorry.
a year in between Load
Yeah.
and Reload.
But okay, let me look at these. So
yeah. So we're gonna
to
go
think of like where they would be in
Yeah.
my ranking.
right, and we can always adjust.
Can we do it this way? Can we go from like my least favorite to my favorite?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So for everyone that can see here, these are just the options that are on this because I didn't make a chart,
Yeah.
and this is just the most reasonable one I could find.
All right. So, gonna start off with the banger here. My least favorite Metallica album is Death Magnetic.
Are we putting it right down to D?
No, it's an S.
It's okay. We're
That's
gonna
fair.
go an S.
Okay.
We're gonna
Death
consider
Magnetic.
this back end.
I
of
love the songs on there. My favorite song on there is probably that's kind of tough actually. The Day That Never Comes is probably my favorite on that.
Yeah.
on
That's
that
the radio
record.
single, I think.
I remember Walmart having massive displays for this record when this came
So
out.
do I, yeah.
And like, I remember being like, because it was pretty close to either my dad's birthday or Father's Day. I can't remember now, but I was like, we gotta get Dad this record because I know he loves Metallica.
Yeah.
So
And-
it's fun that this is the first one we're gonna talk about.
Thing that also contributes to it being my least favorite is the mix. I do not enjoy the mix
I'm
as
glad
much.
you said that because I will agree 1000%.
It kind of makes it hard to listen to. Like the songwriting is great, the performances are great, but it's just clipping like all the time.
It's really
So-
weird that far into their career and their catalog that it would
Yeah.
happen.
That's their first record that they did with what
Robert.
the fuck is his name? Yes, but
Robert Howdy Jr.
God.
he joined Metallica. Yes. Whatever their new producer's name is, I can't
Oh,
remember
okay,
his
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
But
Well, no, Robert was on St. Anger. So this is the first
he
one
wasn't.
after. Really?
Bob Rock performed bass on St. Anger.
See,
Yep.
this is why you're here.
Yeah.
This is why you're here.
Everyone's learning today.
Which brings me to my next favorite, which is St. Anger. I think St. Anger
Saint
is
Anger.
better than Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
And that's spicy, I know it is. But overall for me, like imagine being, I mean, you probably don't have to imagine because you were there. But for me, like imagine
I'm sitting up for
I'm
this
sorry.
one.
I'm sorry.
I like this.
Okay. Imagine being 2003.
Yep.
You hear S&M. The next thing that you hear is fucking double kick up the ass.
Yes.
A fucking snare that is so popping. The Saint Anger snare is fantastic, and I don't care what you have to say about
I'm
it.
vouching
I think
for it.
everyone's grown up enough to understand that Saint Anger rocks.
I hope so.
Yeah.
and
I hope so.
if you don't agree, then you're just stupid.
You're-
and you need to
you're a
figure it
child.
out.
I
Grow
made a
up.
Facebook post, and I got to find it because it's going to pop in my memories at some point. But I said, I think today is the day that I admit, like, I've matured to the point where I actually appreciate the snare.
I love that mix, dude. I love that mix.
Okay, listen to modern hardcore records. Same snare.
It's literally the same.
It's the same snare.
If you're saying that snare is bad, you have to say that Knock Loose snare is bad. You have to say that like all of the new.
You have to say every hardcore band that you love right now sucks because you don't like this. You're just dumb.
There's worse things to bitch about in the world.
Absolutely. And my favorite song off Saint Anger is probably Dirty Window.
Ooh,
I love Dirty
deep
Window.
cut.
I like that you're really digging in on these too.
Yeah.
That makes us so much more fun because like that obviously that's why we're doing this. with
Right,
you,
yeah.
but I'm glad it's
An
what I
underrated
was hoping
song
to
on
hear.
Saint Anger is Invisible Kid, where they play in the same tuning that Klay plays in. So
Yeah, isn't that G sharp?
Insane.
yes.
Yes.
So I would like y'all to listen to that if you have hate for this album.
Metallica invented gent.
Metallica invented Kublai Khan.
Yeah.
Metallica walks so Periphery could run.
Straight
Actually,
up.
kind of true.
That's
Actually,
very
100%.
true. Okay, next up, we are gonna go with Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
Okay.
Great album.
An
as
incredible
the rest
comeback.
Of them. The thing about this album is kind of returning to a lot of their, like, I don't know, I want to say 90s Metallica because they did have like the faster songs. They also had more of like the groovy, like rock songs on that album.
Dude, this was a really like important album to come out.
Yes.
For
I
me, at
appreciated
least.
this album actually.
I was working at Barnes & Noble when this came out. And I remember pre-ordering it because I had an employee discount. And it was myself and this other guy named Dan. And him and I were just like, we can't believe there's finally a new Metallica
Right,
record coming
yeah.
because it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's finally happening. And I remember being like, that artwork is nuts.
Yeah.
The first single was crazy.
Hardwired, yeah.
And I was just like, man, this is sick. Like, the rest of the album has to kick ass. And then it came out and I was like, the rest of the album kicks ass. That was one of the
Absolutely.
first vinyls that I ever bought.
I was just
Good.
about to
It
ask
It was
you,
like
was
the-
it CD or
It was
vinyl?
within like the first probably within like the first 5 vinyls I ever bought. And I also bought the CD. I did the CD and the vinyl both.
Did you get the download code in the vinyl?
Of course. Still have the download code sitting at home.
Oh, yeah.
Insert. Sure expired. But
And
yeah.
So yeah, Hardwired, the return of good production. Like this is the best produced album since Reload.
Yeah.
For me, my favorite song on this album is Halo on Fire.
Incredible.
I love the clean tone in that song. I love like how it evolves into like just this masterpiece at the end. And if you really want to get into the song, S&M 2, that performance of this song specifically is so good. James Hetfield's voice is insane on all
It's
his
crazy that
albums.
he can still
I know.
like
If there was an
sound
award
perfect.
for like the most like consistent vocalist over like 40 goddamn years,
Yeah.
it has to be him.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I mean, you just don't get that from anybody, really. I mean,
No.
like, yeah, there's still plenty of people that have been doing it for that long that still sound good,
But you
but
can
no one
tell when
sounds
they're,
as
like-
good for as long in such a consistent way where it just, even if like the record production sucks, he still kicks ass.
He's still awesome. And he's always going to be that way.
It's just a vocal vampire.
literally
It just doesn't change.
All right.
vocal cords don't age.
And next up on the list is Kill 'Em All.
Ooh, okay.
This
Excited.
is a great album. For me, the reason why this album ranks so low and why I piss off all of the OG 80s Metallica fans is because this is like the definition of like a first album.
Yeah.
Like the production,
tell.
the riffs that they use are just kind of like, you know, first starting out kind of riffs. Are they classic? Absolutely. Are they heavy? Absolutely. Are they their best work? Not in the slightest, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this album. It's very dear to me. I have it on my arm. But like, I don't know. For me, Metallica is one of those bands that just gets better and better over time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, it just ranks lower than most people.
That's fair.
My favorite song. Oh, I should do least favorite song. Actually, no, I should. That's too much.
We'll do another one.
Okay.
We'll bring you back and we'll do
Okay.
it.
My favorite song on this album is probably, I'm gonna go with the Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Four Horsemen. Mechanics. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, Seek and Destroy is legendary.
Yep.
Most of those songs are just kind of like OG, just like thrashy, just like chugging on the E string. That's not my favorite Metallica work. That's why it ranks so low.
That's fair.
But
That's super fair.
anyway, I'm sorry, original Metallica fans. But
Sorry to the OGs.
Oh, geez.
We're talking Metallica.
Yeah, they are. This is deep dive.
Walgreens is here. They're trying to deliver your appointment.
For my pooper.
Whatever we're using it. They said their gloves are in back order.
Oh, this is terrible news. I can't apply my taint cream.
Oh, no.
You have to raw dog it, sir.
No, this is awful.
That's all I wanted.
Maybe I have gloves at home. I don't know. Shay just dyed her hair. So there might be some.
Those microphones are mildly disturbing. Okay.
Snuffleupagus testicles.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to use some balls.
absolutely.
Gotta go. Wow.
I'm bummed we didn't have another camera pointing the other direction. That was iconic.
You heard it here, folks. Alex DeWall uses taint cream.
Yeah, taint cream. Thank you, Walgreens. Shout out, Dad, for the taint cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back
Next
to
up
it.
is Load and Reload. I'm gonna count them together, but if I had to choose which one put next in this specific list from my least favorite to most favorite, I would probably go. I would go Load and then Reload.
Yeah, I think I could agree with that.
I think overall, Reload has better set of songs. I really, really love Devil's Dance.
Dude, Devil's
That is literally sad but true too, and I don't care what anybody says about it.
What I like so much about Load and Reload, like obviously they were meant to go together,
Mm-hmm.
but like the sound from each one, like the style of songwriting, you can tell they were two different styles that they were
Absolutely.
going for.
Yeah.
And it's executed so well between the two of them. And that's why I hate that no one talks about these.
I know.
Like
I'm a.
for my dad, I probably wouldn't have like found Load and Reload when I did.
Mhm.
But like I personally prefer these, especially over like I like Kill 'Em All obviously
Yep.
and stuff, but I think I could agree with where they're at in this. I would
Yeah.
maybe
I
even
would-
be willing to go just a little bit higher.
Yeah.
I would absolutely agree with this because I can relate for whatever reason the artwork to like times in my life. I get a very, very darker vibe from Load.
Mhm.
And like it feels like for me it feels like winter and it's like
Because of the jizz.
a little bit, you know. So, you know, it being like, you know,
And also, I mean, like King Nothing Until It Sleeps, like those music videos are like dark.
Those
we
are
were talking
dark
about
and
like some of the
scary
most terrifying
music videos.
music videos, yeah. But then like with Load, it's like this is a summer ass time like
Yeah.
album. Like this is something you listen to like Fuel. I mean, yeah,
yeah, no,
like,
you got your fucking hood
Kicking
down in your
off
car.
an
and you're
album
just-
with that, by the way. Oh,
have your
my
windows
God.
down, blasting that shit.
You're speeding.
Yeah.
You're speeding. That's just the way it is.
That's Metallica's like song you speed to. That's Freebird for that album. Like you're just putting it down. You're just
putting it down.
blasting.
But then even like Memory Remains, you know, like that's darker, but it's still kind of like more like it feels like it goes back and forth between minor and major sometimes.
in the context of like a live setting, that is like one of my favorite Metallica songs. Just
Yeah.
like the whole crowd like singing the guitar solo back.
The
and-
behind the scenes of the music video,
Yes.
like making that was like, holy shit, you can do that.
Yeah,
That was
all right.
cool. That was really cool. That's the album with Low Man's Lyric too, isn't it?
Yep.
Blows. I love that song
Low Man's
so
Lyric
much.
is so fucking.
So like,
They're so underrated.
Yeah.
Like these
I just
albums.
don't get why people don't care about these so much.
I don't understand. Like the reason, I know the reason why, because like, oh, thrash is the only thrash is going to Metallica.
yeah, your friends don't let friends cut hair.
Yeah, fucking Alice in Chains, but but I don't know. Super underrated albums. My favorite off of Load, I'm gonna have to go with I probably will have to go with Until It Sleeps.
Yep.
Another
Yeah.
super underrated one is fucking Hero of the Day.
Dude,
Yes.
Hero of the Day was
That
one of my
music video.
favorite songs.
That music video is ridiculous too.
Yes.
Like those little like mechanical like wherever the fuck they are that come out at the very end.
Yes.
And then that riff over the top of it too.
Yes. Yeah. So
Dude, even like the softer songs on these records are still hard.
Mama Said is so good.
Oh,
Mama Said is so good.
Incredible.
As for Reload, I am a big Unforgiven 2 guy. I think the
Yeah.
Unforgiven 2 is my favorite of the 3 Unforgivens.
Yeah.
I just love that chorus so much, dude. The guitar part in that is actually like way more intricate than you would think it is. Like they do like weird like inverted chords.
So when are you
It's-
going to do full cover albums of these?
Soon.
Actually?
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so a little off topic, but I guess kind of on topic. I obviously covered Master of Puppets. I'm still proud of the work, but it's definitely not like my best mix because I was kind of still getting
You were pretty
accustomed
new
to it.
at that
But
time.
I am like 90% done with a Ride the Lightning album cover.
Nice.
And that is definitely like a lot better sounding, and like my performances are like my vocal performance especially are better.
I can't wait.
And after that I was planning on doing Reload. So
I'm so
That's
excited
so
for
sick.
that.
yeah.
thing.
That's really cool.
Anyway, back to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
After Reload.
Next up is 72 Seasons.
It's not on this, so pretend it's here.
Pretend it's there. It pretends right there. It deserves to be right there because this is a refined Metallica.
Yes.
Who brings elements of all of their past discography. They have the thrashy Room of Mirrors. They have the slower ones like Crown of Barbed Wire. It's just like
Dude, when they first like put out the singles and announced this record, I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, Hardwired was sick. Hopefully they can at least hold up to that.
Yeah.
And then they blew me away.
yeah, dude.
I was like thoroughly impressed when it came out. All the imagery and stuff to go with this album
So
too is
good.
nuts. Like, you can tell it was very thought out. I know
Oh,
people think the
absolutely.
artwork is kind of goofy. I mean, they're not wrong. It is a little goofy, but I think it fits like what's going on.
It fits them.
It fits it, and it sounds sick. It looks sick. I love the yellow. Notoriously, I
Stands
hate
out.
the color yellow, unless it's like on a car, like a cool muscle car or something.
Yeah.
That album is a cool muscle car. That's a badass
Hell
muscle
yeah.
car of a record. Like,
So I was sitting in class, and you know I kind of check my phone every once in a while in class because I
Oh,
get
bad
bored. But
boy.
like, I see Metallica Lux Eterna official music video, and I walked out of that fucking classroom
Yeah.
and I listened to it
Yeah,
because
I
I was
was
like,
at
"There's no way
work.
they just drop music, dude.
You have
There's no
to.
way."
dude, I was at work and I was like, hey, I gotta go take my break. Like, I gotta
No,
go.
and then
hear
I heard
this.
it and I was like, "Oh my god, dude."
Crazy. It's
So,
such a good record.
It's like
to come out with a record that good so late in your career. Unbelievable.
literally
Who does
40
that?
years after you started.
Who does that?
I know the solo in that song gets some Jimmy's Russell for some people. What do you think?
So it's definitely like probably my least favorite Kirk Hammett work. So that's the downfall of this album for me is like the solos are not his best work, but he said in a recent interview that he thinks that the art of the guitar solo is dying. I don't know if you saw that,
Yeah,
I haven't
but
seen that actually.
Yeah, it's a Bradley Hall.
and
thing
I'm
that-
like,
Okay.
oh really? You think so? I couldn't tell. But I still think they're extremely fitting for the songs, and I think that they do the job they have to do.
Yeah.
So he's obviously not doing like the crazy like insane licks that he used to do in like the old days, but
Puppets
like
and shit.
he's doing what serves the song. And this is my official Lars Ulrich praise moment. Are you ready for this shit?
I'm
I am.
excited about
Okay.
this.
I don't care what any of you people say about Lars Ulrich because I feel like I'm like a politician, like talking to people.
No,
I
do
gotta,
it.
I gotta
This is
calm down.
political
I
right
gotta
now.
calm
Dude,
down.
be Shawn
I
Michaels.
gotta get closer.
Be Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Lars Ulrich is one of the greatest drummers in rock history because he serves the song, dude. If you put any other drummer in Metallica, they do not get as big as they get. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
His songwriting, his song arrangement, nobody else can do what he does. He is underrated. His snare tone is insane in all records, even Saint Anger, and he is a fantastic drummer.
And you're dumb if you think otherwise.
And you're dumb if you think
Because
otherwise.
as much as we can clown on him,
And now I feel better.
He's so good.
That's good. I think we just
He's
found
the
our
best
title.
drummer in Metallica.
We just found the title of the episode. Lars Ulrich.
Can you put like like that face he makes where he's like, can you put that as the cover photo for this, please?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk to you about which picture you want us to use.
I actually, this is
Okay.
mildly off topic, but I found a really funny picture of you last night.
Of me?
I don't remember why. I was looking for a picture of somebody else, and for some reason this came up, and it was a promo I took of you. I wasn't even looking for a picture of somebody else. I was looking for a dumb video when I was trying to find the video of Tristan climbing into where I was sleeping. And I found a picture that I took of you with the
my
moon
ass hanging
out.
out? Yeah.
The moon out, and I went,
I have that picture.
shit, I forgot about that.
I still have that picture.
Incredible. That's such a good picture. The world.
I have the picture of all of us with their asses hanging out.
Yes, that's right. There was full ass. God, what a time to be
You
alive.
guys ever want to see 16-year-olds at them?
Wow.
So anyway,
Crop that one out.
bang.
That's going to be on the Patreon.
All right.
So back
So
back
we're,
back to
we're
Lars
down,
Ulrich.
like what? Is this like the last 4? Or are we...
So 72
we can talk
seasons
about
was number
others.
5 for me.
Oh, yeah. So, because
So
I'm
pretend
imagining
that's
it's
there.
there.
My favorite song off 72 seasons is... See, this is difficult for me because it kind of goes back and forth. But it's got to be Inamorata.
Yeah.
That's just a masterpiece song. The longest song Metallica's ever released.
Shit. Yeah.
And it doesn't feel as long as it is because it keeps
me.
you
How
in
long?
so much.
Refresh me. How long is that one?
It's like 13 minutes and like 7 seconds or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah. But
Good for them.
such a good song. Okay. Let's see. Next up, we are going with the Black Album.
Okay.
I love the Black Album. This is my favorite production Metallica's ever had.
Yeah.
I think Bob Rock is the best producer that there's ever been in this world.
This is the first time I heard of who Bob Rock was. Bob Rock was too. So yeah.
Yeah. Like his production on this and on like Kickstart My Heart, Dr. Feelgood, like it's so good.
I was in first grade when this album came out.
Yeah. I wasn't born.
Yeah. No.
I was born in 2002, folks.
Yeah. So, off track really quick. When Enter Sandman, the radio, like it was literally like listening to the earth crack open.
Yeah.
Like, it was just in fucking insane.
No,
So-
I would do anything to remember the first time I heard Enter Sandman again. I
Yeah.
remember being like 6 years old and I have the video of them playing in Moscow. And then like
Dude.
just the big ass
That-
crowd, and it's like I want to do that one day.
That's massive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways.
but yeah. So the Black Album has extremely underrated songs, and this is when people started to be like, "Oh, Metallica sold out." But this is when Metallica sold in my opinion, dude. This is when they became Metallica because they could still have the fast, old, thrashy songs, but they can also have like the ass beating, like hard rock songs that they're gonna create for years to come. My favorite song off of the Black Album.
American Badass.
American Badass.
American Badass by Kid Rock. I'm gonna have to go with Wherever I May Roam.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
song
That
so
is
much.
okay.
That's such
That's
a
my
good
favorite
song.
off that album too.
It does change sometimes because I also really love Through the Never, but I think overall just the scale they use in that song is so like evil and menacing.
for
and
me, it's the tempo change too. Like the fact that it just like it gives you that chance to like dun dun and dun 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 dun. Yep.
So
And
good.
Straight into it. Yep.
so good. And James Hetfield's vocal performance on that is probably my favorite vocal performance as well
Yeah.
Yeah.
in their discography.
It's got everything.
Let's see. Next up, we are going to go with the classic And Justice for All.
Ooh.
I got very excited when I was at the store yesterday because there was a new copy of it, of the vinyl sitting there on like the coolest green color I've ever seen for vinyl. I should have bought it.
You should
I
have.
didn't. I'm sure it's still there.
Which is it? Deaf Ear?
No, at Walmart.
Oh, Walmart. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I missed that part.
I didn't say it, but yeah, we were there and I was just like, damn, there's that. And then there's Green Day's Dookie, like anniversary edition sitting there. I was like, fuck, I want both of these. and I bought neither. But
Listened to Green Day in a long time, but I
their new
listened to
album's
Metallica
pretty
like
cool.
10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago. Yeah, we were listening to it here.
Yeah, we were just listening to it.
So favorite song on this one?
So my favorite song of all time in like the world is One.
Yeah.
One is just my favorite song. That
Music video for that is one of the
Yes.
first
Oh
music
my
videos
God.
that made me fall in love with music
oh my
videos.
god, dude. I don't think that anybody can write a song as well put together and well thought out as that. Just the way it progresses, and then like it just goes up and up and up, and it's like and it just stops at the end. That's
Yep.
It just oh my god, dude.
That was. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
My first time was probably like when this album came out. I was, oh my gosh, 5, 4, something like that. And I think it was the first time I ever heard like what is more traditionally known as like a breakdown today.
Yep.
Like that's, do you know what it is?
It's like
that
the
again.
OG breakdown.
Yeah, that double bass. First time I heard double bass too. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what music is. This is
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, no, that song is so inspirational for me. Like just the way, I don't know, just the way that the clean parts go into the distorted parts and then back into the clean, and then just like they go a different direction. It's just like, I don't know. I don't think you can top that. That's just my opinion. So obviously One is my favorite song off of And Justice for All.
I think indirectly too, when I was like figuring out music and stuff, because like I'd already kind of known of Metallica because of my dad. Because like as you know, on my initial episode, talked about how like I definitely discovered this stuff because of my dad. So very much credit to him. But there was this one kid I went to elementary school with. He was like a grade or two ahead of me, and I swear to God, every other day he would wear an Injustice for All T-shirt, and I just remember being like, "That's pretty fucking cool." And then it was like shortly after that I really started to discover that stuff, and I was like, that guy's wearing a cool shirt. That album's cool.
Funny story about And Justice for All. I went to a garage sale with my grandmother, and before I even watched the music video, before I heard any songs from the album, I found a shirt, and it was the Pusheed style, and it was the Last Straw Has Been Pulled for You shirt, and I was like, I kind of like this shirt. I want to get, and I don't know if it's still my grandma's storage unit or not, but then I started okay, when does Metallica ever say this? Because my whole introduction to them before was Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. And so I didn't know that And Justice for All was out.
Mhm.
And it may have just been either just coming out or had been out for a couple months. But then I see it and I'm like, and then the music video gets on MTV and I'm like, oh, okay, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
So,
No, absolutely. And a lot of people don't like this album because the bass isn't audible, but here's another hot take from me. I don't give a fuck.
It's still sick. The riffs are awesome.
I also don't give a fuck, but I also like to do this thing in my head where I'm like, if a bass were to be on this album, I appreciate it without the bass as it is, and it's never going to change, and that's totally cool. But if there were a bass player, who would be your bass player to be on that album?
Yeah, out of the three,
I don't know. I'm a nerd. I want Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee.
Oh,
on
see,
there.
I was just thinking out of the three bass
three.
players that Metallica's had.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, that's fair.
Who would you out of the three?
Jason.
Jason.
Bob Rock.
Out of the four.
Ron McGovney. I'm gonna go with. I think Jason is the guy
Yeah.
because I don't know. I think for that time, what they were trying to do, Cliff would have done something insane, and he would have made the part a little different. But for this album specifically, it's so aggressive and raw that you almost need to do what Jason did and just play what the guitar did for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I don't care about the bass because what would it add? Theoretically, just because Jason said himself that he pretty much just played what James played. So that guitar tone is already so bass heavy that it would have just made the mix not
It would have
work.
been mud.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very happy with that mix. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
But moving on. These two switch for me.
Okay.
But today I'm going to go with Ride the Lightning next.
Okay.
Yep.
This for me is when Metallica started to kind of form their, I guess, classic sound. Just because Kill 'Em All was good and all, and it had like elements of it, but it was kind of, like I said before, just kind of like a first album type thing. But
Right.
they really started to get it down and Ride the Lightning. Mix is just insane on that album. I love that mix. Cliff's bass playing.
Lightning's a hardcore record.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's so funny to me because like I feel like a lot of like in hardcore and like heavy music and stuff always talk about like Slipknot, Korn, and they'll bring up Metallica, but I feel like they don't like comprehend like
Nobody
how
brings up For
influential
Whom
this
the
really
Bell
is.
Tolls when it's like dun dun dun
Yeah,
dun dun.
that right there, that's just like that's a
a
part that
hardcore
makes
riff.
you go, I'm gonna be a gorilla and just beat people.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
Absolutely.
That whole record's just a hardcore record from a much different time period.
Mhm.
And like just understand that.
Yeah,
Have a new appreciation.
they should, but y'all aren't ready to have that conversation.
ain't ready for that.
But as for this record, I think that this is arguably one of my favorite Lars performances on records, just because like Fight Fire with Fire, like just to kick off the album, that's so crazy. Just
I
like,
would personally put this above Master.
that's fine, and I understand because they do.
But I
switch
get
for
why
me.
I get why you
Yeah.
switch. I totally get it. I would have probably said Master over this for a while. But Ride the Lightning, I find myself going back to that more than I do anything else.
And we'll get into why I switched them.
Right,
But
okay.
But Ride the Lightning is fantastic. Like I said, I'm working on the album cover of it right now, and you kind of gain a new appreciation for that
When you're really digging into it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, how do you sit down and write riffs like that? I just don't understand.
Yeah, how does that to you? I don't know, like to be in their heads during that
I
time. If
understand
only.
it. I
If
never
only.
will. Always be chasing the James Hetfield arc. We'll see if I get there. I don't know, but
Maybe you'll get a little bit of him out of the blackened whiskey.
Yeah.
Just get a little taste of James.
yeah, little taste of James.
Little James in you.
Little James in me, little Joe in me. Oh, pardon. My favorite off this album is definitely probably Fade to Black. I just think that song's another masterpiece. Very important for them because that's like their first like slow song. They really embrace like the whole like James Hetfield is vulnerable in this song, and that's something we hadn't seen before up to this point. So
Right.
that's kind of like the turning point for that. His lyric writing, in my opinion.
That song sticks out to me too because that's the one where he like went up in flames, literally.
Yeah.
you know. So because I think I watched the premiere of that VH1 episode where they sit together and they talk about it, and I'm like, oh shit, he almost died.
Yeah, he like literally almost died.
Like, it's like skin's melting and shit. Like,
Yeah, it was crazy. And that like it's kind of like a fever dream when you watch the concerts after that because he's in a cast and he just has the microphone. It's like
Yeah.
that looks like Thor without his fucking hammer. Like
Right?
that's just so weird. I don't know, but obviously there's one album left, and my favorite today would be Master of Puppets.
Put this bad boy up
This
there.
bad boy right here.
I discovered this one after watching Stranger Things.
Yeah, me too. Actually, there
gonna
was
hit
this
you.
awesome guitarist. His name was Eddie Munson. He wrote this song.
This is a little local band called Metallica.
This is
Yeah.
a little local band.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool that Metallica covered Eddie Munson. That's just
Good for-
It's really awesome.
Good for them.
Yeah.
The launch-
They
It's
really
cool.
did him a favor.
It's awesome that Stranger Things put Metallica on.
I think I'm gonna
Republic.
go just dump my head in the toilet
Yeah, I mean, me too.
and just keep it there.
That is the.
I'm not gonna
upside down.
drown, but I'm just gonna make myself feel better.
I appreciate that you know the joke. You know, it's the
I got really heated the other day. Some stupid Stranger Things meme. The show's cool. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
I to be perfect honest, I haven't watched since season 1 because I just.
I've only seen
like,
a
whatever.
couple
Seen the whole
episodes.
show. It's awesome.
But it's some stupid. It was like. Justin was like at Eddie's grave or something, and like Steve was like behind him on his shoulder, like, "It's okay, man." And then it was like Master of Puppets artwork, and the background is the sunset, and I went, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of Facebook today." I specifically I messaged Shay and I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm giving up on the internet. I can't
That's
do
it.
this anymore. I can't open Facebook ever again because that's the first thing that showed up, and I don't even like Stranger Things."
I'm I'm calling it quits.
Calling it quits. But thank God Metallica did Eddie a favor and really
absolutely
covered him and put him out there.
But
so, favorites off of this.
Yeah.
So my favorites off of this, my favorite song off this album is probably
Probably Rock Lobster.
Rock Lobster. I'm gonna have to go Sanitarium.
Yeah.
I love Welcome Home.
Sanitarium was huge for me because not only did I like the original, but when Limp Bizkit got huge and they did the Metallica's Icon thing and they covered that, I'm like, that makes the most absolute fucking sense. Like that they would cover this song. It's so good.
I kind of forgot that happened.
And to hear DJ Lethal sample the original, like while they're covering it, it's like, okay, this is actually really, really cool. So that whole like Metallica Icon thing, I watched that like the day it premiered too because
I didn't really like Korn's, but
it was, it wasn't the best, but I understood why they wanted to cover that one. Mm-hmm. The Snoop Dogg Sabbath True.
That was just so good. Just walking through the crowd.
That's so funny.
That's so funny.
Snoop Dogg Sabbath True is that's my peak Metallica.
Not American Badass though.
Yeah.
No.
Snoop Dogg walks so Kid Rock could run.
But yeah, so back to Master of Puppets.
Back to Master of Puppets. I think that this is the most well-rounded album that they've done. I think that it has the perfect balance of like extremely fast, extremely heavy. They got some slower parts and like, I mean, the intro, the bass intro to Damage Inc. is just, oh my God, I can't even get into it. But to start off the album with Battery, like imagine, like
that's a crazy way to open a record too.
It is.
Like you got to give them credit for a lot of things, but they're really good at like laying out how the record's going to flow.
And I
like,
think
what's
that's
gonna kick it
mostly
off.
Lars. I think Lars sits down and kind of thinks that through.
Because like that's super important. That's you hear people talk about this a lot, but I think that's why like it sucks listening to like I don't know, like playlists of things where you don't have like the full deal because it's like that record was laid out in a very specific way, so that you would listen to it that way. Like it's one thing to like hear something on the radio, or whatever, but like, man, I'm gonna listen to the record in order because it was meant to be played in a specific order.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't fuck it up. Don't put the record on shuffle. Just listen to it the way it was meant to because you're gonna pick up on so many cool little things.
And the cool thing about Metallica is, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but like usually song 2 is kind of like the main focus of the album because Ride the Lightning, the song Ride the Lightning's to Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, and Justice for All. And for the Black Album, it's actually Sad But True. So I think Sad But True is probably like the song on the Black Album.
Right.
Just like that's the one that people are just like, oh, that's heavy as shit.
You know how to just keep your attention for a whole record.
Right.
Because especially now, people don't have much of an attention span for that kind of a thing. And like, I mean, I feel like we could all absolutely agree, like we're kind of victims of that too. Just with like the way culture is on the internet and stuff right now. But like, they can keep your attention for a full record, and then all of a sudden it's done, and you're like, holy shit!
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it again. Like,
and I did that for 21 years now.
Yeah,
but this is my list, and there's definitely some things that people will absolutely not agree with me on. Like 100%, but
who cares? This is Nick's list. Screw
this
you.
is my list, guys.
This is our show.
Yeah,
and this is Nick's list.
Honest to God, I think I agree with almost the entire list. There's a couple of things I would probably move. Mm-hmm. Like I would move Ride the Lightning up. I would put 72 Seasons just before Load, and everything else pretty much where it is.
You think that Saint Anger is better than Death Magnetic?
Yeah. And not that like Death Magnetic sucks or anything, but like
I mean,
said,
as
like,
you can see, they're all S tier.
Yeah, they're all S tier. But like,
yeah, that's the best part about this whole thing is it doesn't like there is no bad Metallica album, but there are just ones that are better than others.
That's what I've been saying, man. I
think the reason why I agree with where Saint Anger is because I prefer that kind of sound because it's more inspirational to like the things that I play and do, and like it just makes more sense to me.
Also, if we had 3 hours to kill, like we could deep dive into like the fact that like I Disappear is probably one of my top 5 favorite Metallica songs.
Yeah.
I Disappeared, No Leaf Clover,
Human.
Yeah. Like all those little like random little offshoots that
We should do a true deep.
Oh, and then the Kirk Hammett, is it? Oh my God, did you do? He did it with, was it the Chemical Brothers or the Dust Brothers? It was the Spawn soundtrack. But Metallica was on the Spawn soundtrack in 1996, 97.
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that either.
Yeah.
You got
It's-
me on that one.
Yeah. So I'll send you the link to it. But I remember the big thing that drew me to the Spawn soundtrack was Marilyn Manson was on it. He was the big draw to it. And then Korn was on it. And then The Prodigy. And there's like a whole bunch of different collaborations. So the Chemical Brothers did a collab with, I think, another electronic band called Orbit or something like that. And like for whatever reason, Kirk Hammett with, I think it was Dust Brothers. And so it's like, that was like the first, probably my first time where I'm going, metal people and electronic EDM people can hang out. Okay. I like that, you know,
for sure.
So I'll send you the link to that.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and I want to do just a full, like, we can take as long as we want to just discuss like song rankings for each album. Would be really fun.
That would be so much fun.
That'd be
dude.
really fun. But no, I think this has been a good time. I'm
thank you
glad
guys
that
for
we
having
got
me
to
on.
talk about New Toxic Messiah.
Yeah.
because like obviously that's your current thing. But
That's the
for anyone
that's
who
coming up.
hasn't listened to it yet, do it right now because
Life-changing.
It's sick. It's crazy, and
The fact that this music exists today in the year of our Lord 2024, mind blowing.
and hearing your production skills, just even going from like the first version of Shell Shock that came out to this, insane. Like,
Thank you. That means
so
a lot.
for anyone that didn't catch that earlier, Nick took care of all the engineering and production stuff. So give Nick $1,000 every 5 minutes you're
Yes.
recording, and you'll sound sick like that.
Exactly.
For real though, like, let me mix your song. I don't cost a lot of money.
Well,
Until he's going to start charging $1,000 every 5 minutes because I said so.
we'll do a revisit episode because I mean, so far everyone's coming back on it.
Yeah, everyone's got to come
but-
back just because it's been so nice talking to our friends.
Yeah, and then we can get into the fact that like I've seen Metallica with Jason at one point, and I found the set list,
Oh man,
so we can touch base on that
Yeah.
at some point too. But where can people find music? Where can people find you?
Wherever.
specifically at Rogan's.
Walk into Rogan shoes, ask for the New Balance special, and then I'll come out.
Bring
Hell yeah.
bring the boy some tacos.
Bring the boys some
Betty's
Betty's.
tacos. But yeah, you could stream it wherever.
Toxic Messiah on Spotify, YouTube, everything.
Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music.
I'll throw some links in the notes on all these.
And then if you want to hear my covers and stuff, just send me a friend request on Facebook, and I'll accept it.
That's
Nick,
it.
Nick, thank you so much for
Thank you for hanging with us.
Thank you guys for having me. I mean, it's
Dude,
been
anytime.
very fun. I had a great
Dive in
time.
Metallica. I loved it. It was amazing.
yeah.
I'm
I will-
looking forward to this all week.
Yeah,
Dude,
same.
so have I.
100%.
1,000%.
Because Klay and I like knew that this is what we were gonna do, and like really came together on the tier thing though, like only 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So
It was originally going to be a March Madness bracket, but I was like, that could go on forever.
Yeah, it could.
So,
Yeah.
that could be never ending. So I'm glad it went this way. But
Yeah.
we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So-
Well, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Well, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
We're
you
gonna
guys.
be a couple of little hood rats doing some hood rat shit. Yeah, bitch.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.